East, 2 points up on Winnipeg. Meanwhile, the Green Riders can move into a second-place tie with BC and Edmonton, at least temporarily, with a win tonight. Lots at stake. Here's John Wells and Leif Pedersen.
Jim, I think it's going to be an interesting confrontation here in Hamilton tonight. The Tiger Cats with a rock-solid defense against Kent Austin and Air Austin. But is the Ticat defense got enough to stop Austin tonight?
Well, I don't know. That's an interesting question, and it is a good confrontation. The Ticats are a very patient style of defense that only rush 3 or 4 guys a lot of times and content to stay back in zone coverage. So for Kent Austin, he'll have to be patient. He'll have to be content himself to throw 8 to 10 passes to maybe put a drive together to score points. And I don't know. I mean, I always like the offense. If you got a great offense, I think tonight that might beat the good defense.
Well, looking at the Hamilton offense, that's the problem area for the Tiger Cats, and a little bit of heat coming on the rookie starter at quarterback, Don McPherson, who struggled last week against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and I guess he has to get some points on the board early.
Well, he does, to try and restore some confidence. You know, they got hammered by Winnipeg in their last game, and you see the numbers for McPherson, not very impressive. It translates into a 43% completion rate, and, you know, that just won't get the job done. But, hey, they've made a commitment to this young quarterback. They traded away Damon Allen, and they said, Don McPherson, the job is yours. So they have to let him mature, and it takes 2 or 3 more weeks. I think they'll have to be patient and just let him come along at his own speed.
Yeah, and one other interesting matchup tonight, John Gregory against his former team, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Gregory has not lost to the Roughriders since he was fired in 1991. We'll have it for you. Join us at 7:30 Eastern.
Months and now a tough place to play football. No one knows that better than Saskatchewan coach Don Matthews, whose team seeks its first road win of the year. The Riders are led by the CFL's second leading receiver in Jeff Fairholm, and he is the primary concern of former Saskatchewan head coach John Gregory. His defense is the best in the division, and tonight, led by Tim Jackson, the Tabbies seek top spot in the Eastern Division as they take on Saskatchewan next.
When they call on me, I want to provide the offensive spark to the team.
Hamilton quarterback Don McPherson loves to air it out. He led Hamilton to a brilliant come-from-behind win over Ottawa. But last week, McPherson was a hunted man. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers made his evening miserable as the Bombers trounced the Tabbies.
I think we're going to be pretty fired up. I think we're going to come out and be ready to play a good, tough, hard football game and get our confidence back and get a win back underneath our belt.
Tonight, we'll see if Mike Saunders can run and if Don McPherson can hide on the CFL Live. The CFL Live on TSN is brought to you by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. And by Mark's Work Warehouse. Fight to left as you look at it on your television screens. It's the Roughies and the Ticats, live from Hamilton. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the CFL Live. I'm Gord Miller. Tonight, the Saskatchewan Roughriders will try to reverse a mystifying trend in the CFL. So far this season, home teams are winning at about a 70% clip. It's got coaches throughout the league scratching their heads, including Don Matthews, whose team enters this game 0-3 away from Taylor Field. These two teams gave us a great Grey Cup 4 years ago and promised to give us another great matchup tonight. And for more on it, let's go to John Wells.
Gord, the Hamilton Tiger Cats got a rude awakening against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers last week. The defense was okay, but the offense has been struggling all season long. The Ticats are averaging just 21 points per game, and that won't be enough against the Saskatchewan Roughriders and Kent Austin tonight. What we really have is a classic confrontation of offense versus defense in this one.
John, it's really an interesting matchup tonight. Kent Austin comes into this game averaging about 350 yards passing per game. He has an excellent receiving core, as everybody knows, so they will go up against a very tough Hamilton defense. Outside of their loss to Winnipeg last week, the defense has really carried them to their 3-1 mark. Defense is patient. They only rush about 3 or 4 guys, drop everybody off, so Kent Austin will have to be very patient tonight, maybe 8 to 10 plays to score some points. I think the sidebar story to this game is also Don McPherson. He is the quarterback of the future. They have made a commitment to him. He has struggled in the first 4 games, but I think they have to be patient with him, and that's why defense for them is so important.
Safe to say that Don McPherson needs a quick start to stay even with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who will unleash a high-flying aerial attack in Hamilton tonight. Back after 2 straight losses to beat Toronto, the Ticats lost their first of the year to Winnipeg last week. What'll be the difference tonight, partner?
Well, John, I think it's going to be possibly the play of Jeff Fairholm. Can the Hamilton defense handle him? He has been the big play receiver in the Saskatchewan offense. He's averaging a phenomenal 28 yards a reception, has made the big plays, so the difference could be, can the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense handle Jeff Fairholm?
Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Speedy Auto Glass. Don't take a chance. Take your auto glass repairs and replacement to Speedy Auto Glass. Ready now for the Tiger Cat kickoff. Paul Osbaldiston. Short kick. This is Mike Saunders, number 32 for the Roughriders. Out across the 35 and brought down near the 38-yard line. Stopped there by Mark Scott. Here, Austin back in flight last week after 2 straight losses. Kent Austin leads the league in passing yards after 5 games. His number 1 running back will be Mike Saunders, 2nd overall in yards in Canadian football. And the wide receivers, Williams and Narcisse, with 2 superb slot backs inside Fairholm and Elgard.
Yeah, and the Hendrickson brothers start on the left side of that offensive line. They've given up 13 sacks in 5 games. Not bad for a team that throws the ball as much as they do.
1st and 10 for Austin. Good fake, and Austin goes to his right. Far side of the field, on target for Jeff Fairholm. And Fairholm took a pretty good hit out of bounds by Greg Eaglin. There is a penalty marker down. Gain is 14 yards for Jeff Fairholm, who appears to be okay. Second leading receiver in the Canadian Football League this year, Jeff Fairholm. Off to a superb start.
Yeah, that's a good call. That was a cheap shot by Greg Eaglin on the sidelines. And, of course, at Ivor Wynne Stadium, those cement walls are so close to the side of the field that the referees are always watching for that little extra hit close to the sidelines and trying to protect those players.
With the penalty, the Roughriders are set up at the Ticat 41. Out pattern, far side. Elgard was the intended receiver. Actually, Elgard down the sidelines. It'll be 2nd and 10, Saskatchewan. The Cats are solid up front with veteran Brett Williams and speedy Mike Cofield. Rookie Michael O'Shea has been a nice surprise, and John Moten makes the Cats solid in the middle.
A couple of new corners in 1993 for the Ticats. Greg Eaglin, who got the roughing penalty on Fairholm, and Derek Kelson is in replacing the injured Gary Wilkerson.
One pump and completes. Fairholm, and there's a penalty marker down. Dawson was covering on Fairholm, and another marker down.
Outside, Hamilton number 7. Decline.
Please decline.
First down.
Another first down as Austin has the Roughriders on the move early. Rough Rider head coach Don Matthews, 82-49-1 in his CFL head coaching career. From the 25, first down Saskatchewan. Austin looks to the corner and fired it too far for Byron K. Williams.
Hamilton doesn't blitz a lot, but they get into a situation where when a team like Saskatchewan gets on a bit of a roll, they have to try and change the pace on a Kent Austin, and that time John Moten up the middle on the blitz, and I think he forced Kent Austin to throw the ball a little bit before he was ready.
2nd and 10. Saskatchewan Roughriders at the 25. Austin uses the shotgun and comes to the near side. It's Elgard, and it's a touchdown. Ray Elgard, a 25-yard touchdown reception from Kent Austin. Quick work there. Just the 2nd touchdown reception of the year for Elgard.
Well, that's about the easiest opening drive that I've seen this season, and Kent Austin obviously has his game in shape for tonight. Ray Elgard, the nice post corner move on Timmy Jackson, and you're going to get a good look at it here. Tries to set him up to the inside. There's the little head fake, and Jackson bites just enough that Ray Elgard is able to gain the separation to the corner. Ball perfectly thrown, and wow. They made that look pretty easy, didn't they?
A terrific start for Austin and the Roughriders. Penalties helping out a little bit along the way. For a 7-0 Saskatchewan lead, Austin converts the opening drive into 7 points.
Well, one of the biggest concerns for Don Matthews, the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, was which team that he has will show up for a road game. They have not played well in Sacramento, in Edmonton, and great concern tonight what kind of team would show up. Well, I think the A-team came in here for this opening drive.
Definitely the A-team here, and this is vintage Austin, vintage Elgard.
Well, here's Ray Elgard here. Timmy Jackson, when you run the corner route, I mean, you're going to try and end up over here. What you want to do is get that position up here with either some steps or a head fake. This time Elgard uses the head fake, then back to the corner, let it go, and once you get Timmy Jackson committed to the post, there he's committed, there he's dead. Good pattern by Elgard and a good throw by Austin, and man, oh man, what a great opening drive that was.
Here's the Rough Rider kickoff. Scott Walker waiting at his 20, had troubles with it. Flips it on, and the Ticats try the reverse to Joey Yock. He's got some blocking room in front. Yock gets one block, slowed down, and stopped at midfield. David Pitcher on the tackle. And what a play for the Tiger Cats after yielding that touchdown. A 41-yard return. Have another look.
Well, the reverse is on, and, you know, almost by mishandling that kickoff, it seemed to freeze the entire cover team of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Hey, here it comes, and look at all those Saskatchewan guys in one spot. See if you can see the good block by 34, Mark Scott. There it is right there on L. Brown, and nice way for Hamilton to start their opening drive almost at just past midfield.
Yeah, at the Saskatchewan 54, 1st and 10 Ticats. McPherson handing off to the new running back, Bruce Perkins, number 32. And he's near the 50-yard line and stopped there. Don McPherson looks for a better game. He ran into a brick wall against the Bomber defense last week and lost for the first time. The rookie runner is Bruce Perkins, starting alongside Lee Knight in the Ticat backfield. Wide receivers, Walker and Winfield. Joey Yock and Richard Nurse start inside with Ken Averera on the injury list. And Peter Giftopoulos Leaf gets his first start as an offensive tackle for the Tiger Cats. McPherson stands in on 2nd down. Now he has to escape and comes up with a 1st down. A good run by Don McPherson all the way to the Rough Rider 35.
And this is what Don McPherson is going to have to do as a young quarterback. He is not mature enough. He's not enough of a veteran to really be able to stand back and pick apart a defense. So when he's not sure of what he's seeing, he has to do exactly this. Hey, one look at it, and if you don't see it, start running. And here, a nice move to get away from Ray Bernard, the middle linebacker. They pick up their initial 1st down, but for him to be effective, like a young Conrich Holloway or a Damon Allen, Tracy Ham style, he's going to have to run with it.
He's rushed 16 times for 119 yards, not counting that. This is Lee Knights. And Knights brought down by Carlton Lance. Lance making his 3rd start for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Here's the way the Roughriders line up defensively. With Jurison Bayless, Lewis, and Hill combined 34 years CFL experience. Conversely, the linebackers have about 6 years of experience.
The secondary newcomer to the CFL, Barry Wilburn, 6 years with Washington, 1 with Cleveland. He is a good one.
Bruce Perkins got the call for the Tiger Cats. On 2nd down, we'll see where they spot the ball. He's well short of the 1st. Saskatchewan leading 7-0. Baldiston. Good on 9 of 12 field goals, a 75% average so far this season. This one spotted at the 37. And Osbaldiston is right on target. So the Tiger Cats answer the touchdown with a field goal. Looks like it's a good one shaping up on the CFL Live from Ivor Wynn.
Kent Austin on Saskatchewan's opening drive. Austin's quick release makes him difficult to defend, and the toaster talked to us about how you stop Kent Austin and this dangerous Saskatchewan attack.
What we've got to do is we've got to realize that Ken Austin is going to throw the ball very quickly early in the game. That's been his history with us. We're not going to have a lot of time to get to him, but what we do know is from our past history with him is we've got tremendous DBs, and for Ken to throw the ball quick, he's not going to get the big bomb passes they usually get, and hopefully he'll get a little impatient a little later on, which has been his history with us. And as the game goes on, we'll have time to start getting in the backfield and getting our sacks on him. And that's pretty much what we're counting on, playing a tight, tough game early, give him the short stuff, and then as the game goes on, he'll try and open it up, and that'll be our chance to really get to him.
Toaster's not burned out yet, is he?
No, he's not, but he might have to rewrite the game plan just a touch, because expecting the short passing game from Ken Austin, and that's not what they got on the opening drive. Ray Elgard with the long bomb for the touchdown.
Rider coach Don Matthews thinks his team is ready to turn the corner tonight and win one on the road for the first time in 1993.
Kind of a key game for them. They stand at 2-3. This, of course, would get them to the 500 level, but more than that, establish the fact that they can play well on the road, because that has just not happened for them so far this season.
Here's Osbaldiston's kickoff. Mike Saunders at the 29. Good return for Saunders out near the 50-yard line.
Taken by Mike Saunders.
Saunders had a great week for the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week. 111 yards rushing, 89 receiving, and a couple of punt returns for 15. In fact, he's second only to Earl Winfield in all-purpose yardage in Canadian football heading into the week.
And his head coach describes him as having the whole package, and I think that graphic clearly indicated that. He does so many things for the Saskatchewan team.
1st and 10, Roughriders at the 51. Saskatchewan leading 7-3. Some early movement, no penalty markers down. Oh, hang on, there's one far side of the field. The Toaster in on the tackle. Gordon?
Yeah, John, the part of the reason for the success of that last Saskatchewan drive was that they switched Elgard and Fairholm. Hamilton wants to have Dawson on Elgard because he's so physical. They want Jackson with Fairholm because he's so fast. Well, what they did in that last drive was Saskatchewan got Elgard to work against Jackson, and then they got Fairholm on the other side on Dawson. A great matchup for the Riders.
These guys are in for a bit of a test, don't you think, against Elgard and Fairholm?
Yeah, oh, they are, and I think Gord made a good point. They want Bobby Dawson. He's a physical defensive back. That's who they want on Elgard.
Penalty was against Hamilton, so that was 1st and 5, and Don Narcisse makes the catch against Greg Eaglin, number 13. So that keeps the streak intact for Don Narcisse. 96 games with at least one reception, and really that's quite an incredible record, isn't it?
Yeah, somewhat overshadowed by the two slot backs of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but as a receiver, boy, he is an excellent wide receiver. It seems like they work inside and then gradually begin to widen it out with the wide receivers.
On 1st down, Austin to the near side, and Fairholm couldn't bring it in. Number 18, Jeff Fairholm, is a threat on any down. 178-yard touchdown to his credit so far this season. 4 in total, and zeroing in on 500 yards receiving already. 2nd and 10 for the Roughriders at the Ticat 47. Austin shotgun coming to the near side. Catch is made, but out of bounds. Byron K. Williams made the catch, but he was a stride or two outside the mark. So it'll be 3rd down for the Roughriders. Austin not quite as efficient on this drive as he was in the opening drive, but that would have been tough to top, wouldn't it?
Well, the Ticats on the opening drive got caught in a couple of blitzing situations. That time, 2nd and longer situations, they were able to rely on that zone coverage that they like to use so much, and they squeezed down the lanes a little better and played a much better series.
Here's Brent Matich with the wind at his back. A wobbly kick bouncing at the 15 and again at the 5. Winfield lets it roll into the end zone and draws a flag. Carlton Lance in a little too close to Earl Winfield, the KG veteran.
What in the world was Carlton Lance thinking about there? No question, Winfield wanted to give up the single and get it out to the 35-yard line for some field position, but Lance comes in and gets the call.
CFL The Tiger Cats chose to give up a single point on that punt by Brent Manage, despite the no yards call, so they'll begin at the 35-yard line. Don McPherson tries to get his Tiger Cats on a roll. Passing percentage just 42% so far this season. He's passed for 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, but on the other hand, 7 interceptions.
Well, they've made a commitment. We talked about this in the opening. They traded away Damon Allen. They said Don McPherson is our quarterback of the future. So the people of Hamilton, the coaching staff here in Hamilton, they have to be patient. Hey, he's not going to be a super quarterback overnight. It's going to take time, and if they make the commitment, just stick with it and give them time to improve.
Good fake by McPherson there. Now the rundown is on, and McPherson had nowhere to go. Penalty marker is down at the 15.
McPherson's pass is incomplete. Penalty marker on the play.
Oh, he's called grounding. Yeah, they're going to call grounding there. I think that's a good call. No intent to try and complete a pass, and the closest player was Joey Yock, and he was about 25 yards away, and I think Jake Harlan and his crew made a good move there.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver, Saskatchewan number 3. Intentional grounding, Hamilton number 16. Repeat the down.
The out-of-town scoreboard features the Ottawa Roughriders leading Doug Flutie and the Calgary Stampeders at Frank Clair early in the first.
Boy, does Ottawa need a win in the worst way.
On first down, McPherson has it batted down at the line. Looked like he was going for Earl Winfield, his number 1 receiver. Gary Lewis missed 3 games for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, back for the first time in this one tonight. Had problems with a hamstring. Winfield to the near side. Scott Walker flanks to the far side of the field. Tiger Cats. 2nd and 10. More pressure on McPherson. He eludes it and gets to the far side. Penalty marker down. Walker was the intended receiver.
Penalty marker on the play.
And Albert Brown was with Walker holding the call. And the Tiger Cats are charged.
Holding, Hamilton number 32. Line, 3rd down.
That's Bruce Perkins, the rookie running back, wearing number 32 for the Tiger Cats.
And it seems apparent that Saskatchewan's plan on defense tonight with a young quarterback like Don McPherson is to give him some different looks, some different blitz schemes up front early in the game and try and confuse him. And so far, I think it's worked pretty well.
Osbaldiston. Tyrell Ulmer gets across the 45 to about the 46. Well, some interesting family connections in this game tonight. Ray Yock, the Saskatchewan Roughriders offensive coordinator, coaching against 2 of his sons. But look at the family tradition in Saskatchewan. Jeff Fairholm had a father play in this league. Larry, the Hendricksons. Father Lefty played for the BC Lions. Mike Anderson's father, Paul, played in Saskatchewan. Brooks Finley's father, Greg, and his grandfather, Steve, both played in the league. Paul Cramner, in his first appearance for the Roughriders. His father, Dave Cramner, played for the Calgary Stampeders. Saunders out across the 50.
Stop to the 50-yard line.
Pretty nice play by number 75, Roy Hart. You're going to see Mike Saunders with a lot of room as he sneaks through, but Hart's on his back. He just sticks out the hand and trips Mike Saunders rather up. Nice play by Roy Hart.
Gain is 4. This is 2nd and 6. Austin on target for Don Narcisse. Penalty marker down inside the 45. Eaglandon on the tackle on number 80, Don Narcisse.
Well, there was a pretty good collision between Narcisse and Greg Eaglin as he tried to gain his separation. Eaglin thinks it's going to go against Saskatchewan, but
yeah, I think he's right.
The push-off, and that's how Narcisse created that separation, and he got called for it.
Forward pass interference, Saskatchewan number 80. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, this Saskatchewan team is pretty good at that. You know, Ray Elgard, notorious for going down and causing a collision and then getting his separation that way. This time, Narcisse got caught for it.
Too many penalties in the game so far. Tiger Cats 5 for 20. Roughriders 4 for 10 yards. This is 2nd and 16 for Austin. Wide open far side, Jeff Fairholm. Pushed out by Bobby Dawson. 30 yards. The Riders needed 16 for a first down, and Fairholm comes up with 30.
Really
wide open.
Yeah, they seem to confuse the Hamilton defense with 4 receivers to the wide side of the field. There's Bobby Dawson, 27. He's supposed to have the deep third, but he just kind of forgets about Fairholm sneaking down the sidelines, and by the time he realizes it, Fairholm's been able to make the catch, stay in bounds, and boy, you know, 1st and 20 to pick up that is pretty good.
Look where the Riders are now. First down, Tiger Cat 40. Pressure on Austin. He got it away. Saunders close to a first down. Just inside the 30. We'll see where they spot the football. The gain is 11 yards. It will be another Saskatchewan first.
Interesting call against the zone defense, and you have to use your running backs. Here's Mike Saunders. He's going to let the other fellas clear out. He'll just sit out in that hole, and as everybody drops off, Kent Austin makes the right read, and there's the hook. He's wide open. Throw it to him underneath the coverage. Now, Todd Wiseman has to come a long way from that middle safety spot to make the play, but good ball control with the passing game.
Austin looks for the home run toss on first down. Penalty marker. Derek Kelson, the rookie. Williams was the intended receiver. Derek Kelson out of Purdue. Played with Sacramento, the World Championship team last year.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 24. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Derek Kelson is in for Gary Wilkerson, who's on the Tiger Cat injury list.
And Byron Williams is in behind, and the hook came actually earlier than that. That could have been called interference there as well, but as Williams broke to the corner, Kelson was in trouble, put the arm out, hooked him, and got called for it.
Riders first down. Too far. Narcisse. Austin feeling a little heat that time from the Tiger Cat defense.
Yeah, but he is in a great rhythm. He didn't connect on that pass, but, I mean, he had Don Narcisse wide open. Maybe had to get rid of it a little quicker than he wanted to with Roy Hart coming right into his face, but nevertheless, Kent Austin and his receivers are having a fine first quarter here.
Wind might have carried that just a little bit on Austin.
Yeah, they're throwing with the wind, and might have just a little bit, but the fact remains is, like, he's got guys open on every play. It's just whether he can hit them or not.
2nd and 10 for the Roughriders at the Tiger Cat 19. Austin standing in. Fairholm is open. He couldn't turn the corner, but he'll have the first down at the 3.
Watch what happens. Byron Williams, he's going to run down and take the post. Well, both defensive backs go with him, and that just is easy pickings for Jeff Fairholm to come out here, and they choose to double cover Williams and kind of make a bit of a mistake. And there's Fairholm wide open. They got to coordinate that defense a little better than that, or it's going to be a long night.
Fairholm has 4 receptions for 75 yards already. The Roughriders are set up first down. Goal to go at the 3. The pitch to Saunders. Saunders looks to the outside, and he scores. Mike Saunders. First touchdown of the season for Saunders. And the Roughriders making it look easy against a pretty good Tiger Cat defense.
Pretty interesting formation for Saskatchewan. All the slot backs in the backfield, and as they come out, it's actually Jeff Fairholm that leads the blocking for Mike Saunders. And once he gets by the initial point of attack, watch the little dipsy-doodle pass to Greg Eagleton into the end zone. Gave him the little fake with the left leg, froze him, and then had the speed to go around and score. So the Saskatchewan Roughriders here in the first quarter are making things look pretty easy.
Dave Ridgway with the convert.
Automatic for Dave Ridgway, and the Roughriders have a 15-3 lead. 2 rather successful scoring marches for Kent Austin. This ended with a 3-yard touchdown scamper by
Cats. Jeff Fairholm, as you might expect, having a big afternoon. And he's having a big season as well, entering this game as the 2nd leading receiver in the league. Kent Austin talked about Saskatchewan's outstanding number 18.
I think his love of play has always been that high. It just, he seems to have broken out earlier this year than in years. And, you know, in the CFL, one of them, I think I've got the 2 best.
Well, he's a quarterback. He thinks he's got the two best. What do you think?
Well, I think they are both excellent players. You know, the thing about Fairholm, like, he is fast, but I don't think the guys around the league really think he's that fast. They look at him and say, well, you know, no, he's not as fast. But before you know it, he's in behind you for the big play. And I think there's some deception to his speed. And
Sneaky fast.
They really don't know how fast he is.
Scott Walker for the Tiger Cats looking for field position. The Cats could use it. And it's not bad. Out across the 35 to the 37. Stopped by Carlton Lentz. Mike Saunders finished off the scoring for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in that drive. 64 yards in 7 plays. Ken Austin took 3 minutes and 28 seconds to get to the Ticat end zone for the second time tonight.
I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats have a bit of a dilemma here in the first quarter. I mean, this is a team that relies on defense to keep them in games, and so far they're down quickly by 12 points. And Don McPherson, you know, he can't let this game get out of hand. He's got to find his game in a hurry and take them down and try and answer the Saskatchewan scoring drive with one of his own.
Big difference so far in total yards with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 127 compared to Hamilton's 25. Still 3:30 to go in the opening quarter.
I think the biggest thing for McPherson to do is get to that rollout, especially for a young quarterback with running ability, and then, you know, he can pressure that line of scrimmage with either the run or the throw.
No rollout this time as Perkins got the call, and Gerald Bayless was waiting.
Perkins, the ball carrier.
Well, Leaf, the Ticats aren't panicking down here. They feel, in fact, that when they get the win, they can finally get their offense to go to work. They've had a tough time going into this breeze so far.
Well, they have, Gore, but I think the key for McPherson is to get outside of the pressure coming up the middle, and then he cuts the field in half. He doesn't have to read as much coverage, and, of course, he has that option.
A loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for the Tiger Cats at the 38. More pressure on McPherson. He released in a hurry, and it was almost picked up. Tyrell Ulmer looking for the interception and almost came up with it.
Tyrell Ulmer made a nice play to break on the football. He knew the blitz was coming, and he expected his front seven to get some heat, and here they come. McPherson sees it. He knows he's going to have to get rid of it quickly, and Ulmer steps in front of Richard Nurse and really should have had the pick there. Saskatchewan coming after McPherson with more blitzing than I've seen them do so far this season.
Paul Osbaldiston across his 25 to get this kick away into the wind. Not a bad one. Mike Saunders, number 32 for the Roughriders. There was nowhere to go. Jeff Fairholm already off to a fine night. 75 yards, over 75 yards in receptions. Well, making it even 75. 4 for 75 there. And Elgard, only one catch, but it was kind of an important one.
Nice move on Tim Jackson for the touchdown, but these are the two fellows that, of course, the Saskatchewan Roughriders count on for a great deal of their offense.
From the 36, first down, a little play action here. Narcisse was the intended receiver, and Derek Kelson got in the way. Kelson, number 24, starting in the right corner for the first time.
Nice job to break on the football there and get that hand in to knock it away.
Roughriders have the lead 15-3 on the Tiger Cats. 2nd and 10 Saskatchewan with 1:59 to go in the opening quarter. Far side. Marker down. Yes, folks. Could see that one coming. Don Narcisse. Greg Eaglin, number 13, had Narcisse that time.
In the opening, we told you the Hamilton Tiger Cats rely on strictly their front four to get pressure, and they don't get in quickly enough. Ken Austin able to get the ball away, and the interference penalty is called on Greg Eaglin. You see he makes contact well before the ball arrives to Don Narcisse. They call it the contacting rule. It's 10 yards.
Yeah, not all the way, not into the area of the infraction, because it was contact. Ticats have had 40 yards in penalties already. First down, Saskatchewan, another marker down. Saunders was the intended receiver. And this may be a holding call. Jake Ireland in charge of proceedings.
Well, I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to need a few penalties on the Saskatchewan side to slow them down.
Saskatchewan number 66. Repeat first down.
That's number 66, the center, Mike Anderson. 5-yard penalty. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 20. Narcisse comes into the middle, made the catch, and got almost half of what was necessary back. Michael O'Shea made the tackle.
Pretty interesting call. 4 receivers to the wide side and then throw the quick screen back to the weak side to Don Narcisse, and fair home of the block, and Mike Anderson couldn't find anybody. Don Narcisse really did that his own, but they get half back of what they had 1st and 20.
Austin has missed on 5. He's got 127 yards and a touchdown through the air so far. 2nd and 11. Williams was the intended receiver, and another marker is down.
Well, it's interesting how they may call this, because there's no doubt Saskatchewan tried to pick. Jeff Fairholm was trying to pick off Greg Eaglin for Mike Saunders to work underneath. And a blatant pick, and we'll see how they call this one.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton number 13. First down.
Already a tough night for Greg Eaglin.
Well, the crowd's upset at this one. There you see the contact there, but I don't know. They tried to pick him so early, and sure there was contact, but Fairholm got a good piece of Eaglin before he made the move on Williams.
Roughriders first down. At midfield, this is Mike Saunders. He grabs about 4. John Gregory in his 3rd season as head coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, taking over in August of '91 after being fired by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Gregory currently unbeaten against his old team. Off to a little bit of a rocky start in this one tonight. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Riders at the Ticat 52. Austin to Elgard. Slowed down and then forced out by Todd Wiseman, the Ticat safety. End of the opening quarter. All Roughriders so far. Ticats get the wind when we return. Saskatchewan leading 15-3 on CFL Live. Ready to begin the second quarter at Ivor Wynn. Another first down for Saskatchewan. Ken Austin and the Roughriders set up at the Ticat 37. Over the middle. Great catch. Jeff Fairholm. He wormed his way for another couple of yards after making the catch.
Terry Wright made the tackle.
They're really using the crossing patterns effectively tonight. The Hamilton secondary is confused. They're not sure where everybody's going. And watch the catch here right in front of Bobby Dawson. Dawson thinks he's going to get the interception. Hey, who steps in front but Jeff Fairholm with a tremendous catch.
Let me predict he'll catch for 100 yards tonight. He's at 95 now.
Way to go out on a limb.
1st and 10. Saskatchewan at the Ticat 17. All kinds of time for Austin. Elgard one-handed that one. A marker is down, but Elgard is ruled out of bounds.
Penalty marker on the play.
Missed by about a foot, Elgard, on this one-hander.
What a great effort. You know, Ken Austin has such confidence in his receivers to go up and fight for the football. Hey, Elgard's covered pretty well by Dawson, but
Illegal contact. An eligible receiver. Hamilton number 59. First down.
Penalties on Mike O'Shea, the linebacker, for ineligible contact. He absolutely flattened Jeff Fairholm going downfield, and so penalties really taking their toll against the Hamilton defense here in the first half.
The Riders have had a couple of drives kept alive by Tiger Cat penalties. Elgard forced out inside the 5.
Austin's pass complete to Ray Elgard.
Time of possession should be rather interesting from that opening quarter for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Yet double what the Tiger Cats had, and 154 yards net production compared to 24 for the Ticats.
Wow, what the discrepancy in time of possession will do long term is just tire out that Hamilton defense.
First and goal to go. Austin for Fairholm, just over his hands. Covered by Tim Jackson, number 40.
Isn't that the great thing about the Canadian game, though? Heck, what are you on the 3-yard line and you get to throw the bomb?
And you get to throw it.
I love it. Anyway, they don't connect, but that means pretty Mr. Automatic. Kicker, Dave Ridgway.
Enter David here. 4 for 4 last week against the Bombers. 16 of 17 on the season.
You know, you've got Hamilton down by 12. Wouldn't be a bad spot for a fake here. Even if you miss it, boy, they sure have a long way to go.
Suter to hold. Ridgway pounds it through to add to the Saskatchewan lead. Ridgway, a little milestone last week, moving up that all-time field goal ladder. Adding one more here tonight, 18-3 now. Only Lou Pasaglia to catch.
It's going to be tough. Lou's still playing.
Yeah. Lou may never quit. Tiger Cats try and get it going. They're down by 15 early in the second quarter. McPherson has to get out of there. Markers are down, and Jurison has McPherson. Bobby Jurison.
Jurison made the tackle. There's a penalty marker on the play.
Leading the way in sacks for Saskatchewan one more time. 4 on the season.
Boy, I think you really see the, not immaturity in Don McPherson, but just the fact that
Hamilton, number 67, decline, second down.
I just don't think he's sure of what he's going to do. He's taking that snap from center, and he seems so jumpy and edgy as he goes back there, and it's hard to really even figure out what kind of game plan they're trying to do with him.
2nd and 11. McPherson stands in. Earl Winfield couldn't hang on. Barry Wilburn knocked it away from Earl Winfield.
Earl Winfield's having a good season, but Barry Wilburn is really equal on this one. Watch how he plays aggressively up under him. As soon as the break comes, he is right on the hip of Earl Winfield, closes the gap, and although Winfield had the catch initially, Barry Wilburn, nice play to strip it loose.
Osbaldiston. He'll step across the 20 to get this one away. With the breeze, Saunders tried to take it on the run. This is Ulmer. And he's across the 40 to about the 42. So again, decent field position for Kent Austin and the Rough Rider offense. And it's been all Saskatchewan so far. 18-3 on the CFL Live.
At the start of the season, the Saskatchewan Roughriders felt the running back Mike Saunders would be their secret weapon. While the secret's out, Saunders had a great week last week and promises to figure big in Saskatchewan's future plans.
You know, obviously I think my main concern is the running game. You know, I think, you know, between Bruce Boyko and myself, we're pretty much it for the running game, so we have to produce as far as that goes. You know, another part of our offense is that I, play a big role of catching the ball in the backfield. So, you know, I think my position has a lot to do with the offensive success of the team.
Good week last week. He's an all-purpose back, and he's been used a little bit more on kick returns in the last couple of games, and he's putting some yardage on the board there, too, for Kent Austin. Calgary Stampeders in Ottawa this evening, and the Rough Riders hanging in, leading 17-14 second quarter at Frank Clair Stadium.
What I like about Mike Saunders is he's getting a chance to handle the ball, receiving and running with it about 18 times a game, and when you figure in how Kent Austin has to keep all his other receivers happy, that's a pretty fair amount.
A 1st and 10, Austin underthrew that, intending it for Saunders.
And Hamilton changed up defense there. Safety blitz from Todd Wiseman to try and give Kent Austin a different look. It worked. he wasn't able to complete that pass to Mike Saunders. Those are his numbers receiving, equally as good receiving as he is rushing.
2nd and 10. That won't bother Austin, who sends Narcisse to the near side. Byron K. Williams to the far side of the field. Boyko has a first down. Bruce Boyko, first carry of the ball game.
Roy Hart made the
On
tackle.
2nd and 10. Number 75, Roy Hart, finally getting over to make the stop. And the injured player is Jeff Fairholm.
Jeff Fairholm, the injured ball player.
Didn't exactly see what happened to Fairholm on the play.
Hamilton's a pretty good team to run a draw against, only rushing 4 people. Watch Brett Williams as he takes the inside there. Scott Hendrickson is going to do a nice job just peeling him to the inside. That then becomes the lane for Bruce Boyko to take it on the draw. Invite those linemen upfield and then just get the little turn. Good block by Scott Hendrickson, and Bruce Boyko with a nice run to pick up the first down.
Visit the Roar stores in Jackson Square and the Center Mall.
Fairholm being helped up by Mike Saunders.
You see Fairholm at the left of your screen, and they just roll over that leg. His own man, Bruce Boyko, and Terry Wright kind of landed one high. That's the old thing. I'll take him high, you take him low. I think Jeff Fairholm will be back. He is a tough customer. Boy, I have seen him take some vicious hits throughout his career and just bounce back up like there was nothing at all.
Meantime, Dan Farthing is in for Fairholm on 1st and 10. Austin Elgard, what a catch. Inside the 40 and down to about the 37-yard line. Terry Wright, number 7, making the stop. Fairholm being attended to by the Saskatchewan medical staff.
And Hamilton changing up their coverages now to try and confuse Austin. They run the linebacker Terry Wright with Elgard and get some help covering deep behind him, but he is just too tough. I mean, that is pretty much double coverage, and he's still beating it quite easily.
Another Saskatchewan first down, this time from the 38. Austin goes deep. Byron K. Williams couldn't catch up with it. Greg Eaglin was covering on number 87 that time.
Hamilton really has changed their defensive concept in a hurry here, and they are trying to attack Ken Austin with the blitz. It's not what they like to do, but here's Todd Wiseman, the middle safety. Now, Austin sees that, so when you get the safety blitz, you try and hit the home run quickly, and they're not able to capitalize that on. But Hamilton is not comfortable playing this kind of defense. They're better off sitting back in the zone, but when you trail by 15 and you're being threatened again, you have to change up.
2nd and 10, Austin. Narcisse in heavy traffic that time. Narcisse had Bobby Dawson in the neighborhood. .29 to go till halftime, with the Saskatchewan Roughriders leading the Tiger Cats 18-3. Still a long way to go, but it's time for the Tiger Cats offense to get rolling.
I think the defense, at least on that series, changed up, and they were much more effective, kind of stopped the bleeding for a short period of time. But, John, I think you're so right. It's this point in time, with 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter, Hamilton's offense has to start moving the ball, if nothing more than to give the defense a bit of a rest.
Ridgway into the breeze. No problem. Ridgway 2 for 2. That's 6 for 6 for Ridgway in his last 2 games. He'll get a chance or 2 more at Ivor Wynn before this night is over. The CFL Live from Hamilton. The story so far, Ken Austin, 282 yards passing. Dave Ridgway, a perfect night as well for 3 field goals, as we continue along in the third quarter and bring in Gord Miller.
Yeah, Dan Ferrone, as badly as Hamilton has played and as well as Saskatchewan's played, it actually could be a lot worse for the Ticats.
Well, so far it's close, and they came out in the second half. They moved the ball this time, and what they did is short, quick plays. They looked at the ball, and Don got the ball right on the money, made some plays. Now he's got some confidence going, and look for them to come back.
How big was not scoring late in the half?
Well, that killed them. That absolutely killed them. It was a bad mistake by Winfield. He got caught. Him and Wilburn have been going at it all night long, and that drew it back 15 yards, and they weren't able to score. They needed that going into that to get the momentum. Well, they're starting now, so hopefully they can carry it on.
All right, John.
Long night for John Gregory already. What a great start the Tiger Cats got off to. We watched them in their first game against the Ottawa Roughriders. Remember, Osbaldiston.
Yeah, he had a chance to tie it up late. Missed to put it into overtime.
Yeah.
He misses it. They get the single, and then lo and behold, they get the ball back a few seconds later, and he gets to get the kick for the win.
Yeah, 2 cracks at it in the last minute, and that was the second game of the season. Hamilton at Ottawa. 1st and 10 for the Roughriders. Markers down again. Don Narcisse in front of Derek Kelson.
Complete to Don Narcisse. Charlie Wright made the tackle.
I think they want to take the penalty.
Yeah, we got you, Don. We can hear you up here.
Offside. Hamilton number 75. Repeat first down.
Roy Hart. First and 5. This is a bit of a gift for Austin here. Saunders stopped short of the first down at the 40 and thrown back. Tim Jackson.
Jackson and Cofield providing for the stop.
Little help from Tim Cofield, number 55. 17 starts in 1992 for Jackson. He was a cornerback with Barcelona in the World League in 1992 as well. I think so. 9:32 to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 1, and the Roughriders, with Austin carrying himself, have the first down.
Well, you go back and you look at how many offensive plays has each team had tonight, and not too tough to figure out who's got the commanding lead. Saskatchewan almost double the offensive output play-wise over Hamilton.
Late in that first half, the Tiger Cats only had 14 offensive plays, so the second half has started off a little bit better for the Tiger Cats that way, but not on the scoreboard. It's still 24-3. Austin on 1st and 10. Elgard away from Dawson, diving very close to a first down.
Greg England made the tackle.
Good move after the catch by Elgard.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success with this 3-receiver offense. Fairholm clears out. Now here comes Elgard. He's going to come out here. B.K. Williams comes in here. So now Austin has his choice. Do I want to go here or here? And he just decides, well, they're going to lay off Elgard. I'll go out to him. See? The defensive backs, they have to make decisions, and it's very rarely they can make the right one there.
Looks like another time count violation. 8:14 to go, third quarter.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 87. Still first down.
Byron Williams jumped a little bit early. Seven for 115 and the touchdown for Ray Elgard.
No wonder he's smiling.
Yeah. 1st and 15 for the Riders. Austin has Elgard. Elgard couldn't hang on. Big hit by Terry Wright. Former defensive back who's moved into that linebacking core for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, he's a little undersized, 6 foot, 195 pounds, and you're right, they did convert him to the linebacker, and he makes a tremendous hit here. Elgard looks like he's going to make the easy catch over the middle, but Terry Wright times it perfectly. The helmet right into the chest and the football. And Elgard, who usually hangs on in those tough hits, not able to do so there.
2nd and 15, Roughriders. Austin to his left this time, throwing on the run. No catch, far side. Byron Williams, number 87, was the intended receiver. Ray Elgard continues to move up the ladder in pursuit of now Tommy Scott and Brian Kelly. Over 10,000 yards receiving. Ahead of Tommy Joe Coffey as a result of his evening tonight.
Pretty impressive.
Madich is in. 3rd and 15, Saskatchewan. Scott Walker draws a penalty marker. A lot of flags tonight.
Too many.
I think you're right. 7:08 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Saskatchewan leading by a bunch on the CFL Live from Hamilton. The out-of-town scoreboard looks like this, with the Stampeders apparently rolling on to win number 6, leading Ottawa 40-15, 3rd quarter. And Stampeders are certainly one heck of a football team.
They sure are, and for the Ottawa Roughriders, the struggle continues.
Week 1, and they're in danger of losing 4 in a row.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 to go for the Tiger Cats. Lots of time remaining. 7:07 to go, 3rd quarter. McPherson under the cover this time. Lee Knight. And he'll have the 1st down. Four punts and an interception on the last 5 possessions for the Tiger Cats. The bright side of it is they've moved the ball a little better in the 2nd half. On 1st down, this is Bruce Perkins. And Gerald Bayless was there to meet him. Gain is less than a yard. Perkins played 16 games in Tampa Bay. 1st start for the Tiger Cats. Now McPherson looking long, his receiver down near the 30, Scott Walker. Charles Anthony was covering, but Walker went down on his own.
It just seems like such a hit-and-miss offense tonight for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I mean, obviously, they want to try and get Earl Winfield involved. He's had some good plays, but the rest of the offense has really been non-existent. They haven't been able to work it inside to Richard Nurse or Joey Yock with any real success.
Not a great kick for Osbaldiston, but it gets a Tiger Cat bounce. Another marker down as Ulmer returns it to the 20.
Osbaldiston's punt is taken by Terrell Ulmer.
Ricky Royale
Joey Yock makes the tackle. Penalty marker.
inside that area. Another discussion. Another penalty against Hamilton. 5:56 to go.
Yard. Hamilton number 36. 5 yards on the bounce. 1st down.
Roughriders begin at the 25, leading 24-3. No scoring so far in the 2nd half. Narcisse to the near side. Byron Williams, far side of the field. Austin hands off to Saunders. Close to 5 yards, he's to the 30.
Saunders, the ball carrier.
And of course, for Kent Austin, all he wants to do here in the 3rd quarter and into the 4th is to keep this game nice and neat and clean. He's got a 21-point lead and really no threat from the Ticats as though they're going to mount any kind of surge to get back into this one. So keep it clean, keep it on the ground, short passes, no interceptions, and just kind of work away at getting your 3rd win of the year.
Austin calls Saunders the best all-purpose back in the league. That time looking for Elgard.
Terry Wright with some pretty good coverage. They've had success with that kind of a coverage where they run the linebacker with the inside receivers in Saskatchewan. In that case, Terry Wright, who is a converted defensive back. Then they can free up Bobby Dawson and Tim Jackson to help out deeper. And the few times they have run that coverage, which is technically known as a cover 2 throughout the league, they've had some success with it.
Ticat defense holds again. Here's Madich for Saskatchewan. Bouncing for Walker. Another marker down. Walker to the 47 with 4:54 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ticats have the ball when we return to the CFL Live from Ivor Wynn in Hamilton. Following tonight's game, the Turning Point, brought to you by Armor All. Armor All beautifies and protects your tires. Just spray and walk away.
Row 30 is
Game at BC Place next Thursday. The Argos will be there against the BC Lions. Join us at 10 o'clock Eastern Time.
Interesting, a lot of the Argonaut coaches are here tonight watching this game, and had a nice chat with Mouse Davis at halftime, and he was pretty excited about the play of his run and shoot last night. They finally got on track. Mike Kerrigan, 467 yards passing, and nice to see them finally get into the win column this year. So we will follow them out to Vancouver and bring you that game, which should be an interesting one.
How's Peter Giftopoulos doing against Bobby Jurison and Gerald Bayless in there?
Well, I haven't seen Jurison get a sack tonight, so he must be playing pretty well. We're going to take a look at Peter Giftopoulos and see how he's doing tonight.
Draw play. Perkins.
Perkins, the ball carrier.
Nowhere for Perkins. 24 points for the Roughriders and a quick start in this one. In the first 6 possessions, including a touchdown drive by Austin the very first time he got his mitts on the ball.
Yeah, pretty much was a first quarter football game so far.
McPherson in trouble, gets out of there on his own, looks for a block, and comes close to the first down. He has been effective running the football.
Well, let's check in on Peter Giftopoulos, the converted linebacker to offensive tackle, and see how he does. Of course, the quarterback is going the other way, and it's pretty good footwork and position. That's the biggest key for the offensive lineman, is to keep those feet moving and keep good position against that defensive end.
McPherson did claim a first down. The pitch to Perkins, and Perkins has another Tiger Cat first down. Out of bounds, far side. Forced out by Stu Hill. Perkins is 6'3", 235 pounds.
Yeah, he's good size, and he's had some nice runs tonight. I think it's a good move, too, by Hamilton. They're going to the hurry up. They need every bit of time on the clock to try and work their way back in.
No catch. Yock says he had it. 2 officials on the spot say, not this time. Joey Yock had a big week last week, 3 for 53 to lead the Tiger Cats in receiving. Well, he did make the catch, but made a pretty good play after the catch to try and convince everyone. 2nd and 10. McPherson can't find anyone open. Yock was the closest Ticat receiver.
Now McPherson took a pretty serious hit from Stu Hill as he let that ball go, and he was just looking for an open spot to get that ball in so nobody could pick it off. But Barry Wilburn and Earl Winfield, good matchup tonight, and well, I think the battle has been won tonight so far by Barry Wilburn. In his man-to-man bump and run coverage, he has been flawless.
Paul Osbaldiston will line up for a Tiger Cat field goal try. Wide from 45 yards out. This is Ulmer. He'll try and set the Roughriders up with decent field position, picking his way through to about the 22.
Field goal attempt is wide, taken by Terrell Ulmer.
Bushy leading the tacklers for the Tiger Cats. He's a former Saskatchewan Roughrider. 3:17 to go, 3rd quarter at Ivor Wynn. Austin facing 1st and 10 at the 22. No points on the board for Austin and the Roughriders so far in the 2nd half.
Well, the Tiger Cat defense has done what it set out to do here and try and shut them down. It's just that the offense has not been able to pick it up.
Austin got pressured that time. Terry Wright tipped the pass.
Terry Wright, he made a great play, and he's had a good 2nd half in pass coverage, and he read the screen so quickly and was right in on top of it to break it up. In fact, had a pretty good chance at the interception. Well, you have to give credit to the Hamilton defense. They had a terrible 1st quarter and half of the 2nd, but since then they have picked their game up a notch.
Terry Wright, a pretty good man in his spot. 6 fumble returns in 1992. Riders set up on 2nd and 10. Austin for Elgard, no problem. Bobby Dawson forcing Elgard out far side.
Bobby Dawson making the stop.
And Bobby Dawson's positioning on Ray Elgard makes it pretty easy. Watch how he takes away the inside, and that allows Elgard, who's going to the out all the way, so much more room. And there's absolutely no way that Bobby Dawson can close the gap in time to make any kind of play on that one.
A 16-yard gain. Riders first down. Saskatchewan 38. Batted down. That was the toaster getting through, number 91. Brett Williams, another marker down. So far, 25 penalties have been called. 14 against the Tiger Cats, 11 against Saskatchewan. This will be holding against the Roughriders.
The toaster almost had a chance for an interception there. Watch as he sneaks through the left of your screen on the stunt.
63.
Gets one hand on it.
Roughriders are called for holding.
Well, if he'd been able to pick that one off and take it all the way, this game might have turned around in a hurry.
First and 20. Roughriders leading 24-3. Little play action near side. Boyko. He got half of it back. A gain of better than 10. Terry Wright, number 7. The stop on Boyko. Ray Elgard having another Elgard type night. Here's another category he's certainly involved in, closing in on Tommy Scott. 5 away from Scott in number of catches. Rocky DiPietro, the old Tiger Cat, leads the list in that category. This time, Austin is picked off. John Moten. This could be the break the Ticats need as Moten powers his way to the 30. Return after the interception by John Moten.
Now this is one of these plays where the quarterback, Kent Austin, just doesn't see John Moten there in the middle of your screen, and he's so intense on picking up the right receiver when he's got trips to the wide side that he just really never sees 42 Moten. And as he's going to Byron K. Williams, Moten steps in front, and hey, you know, it's only 21 points, not a great deal. You know, Hamilton's offense has struggled, but the defense in the second half has just done a whale of a job to keep them in this game.
It's up to Don McPherson now with a first down at the Saskatchewan 31. Good fake by McPherson, standing in and throwing. Barry Wilburn had an opportunity. McPherson paid the price. Mazzoli was the intended receiver.
Well, it couldn't have come at a better time for John Moten to pick off his first one. He's given his team an opportunity.
Into the final minute now, third quarter. It has been all Saskatchewan so far. The Tiger Cats have a chance to answer here. Winfield, key catch. He's down to the 11. Suter and Winfield, a pretty good welcome to the Saskatchewan secondary.
It's a good hit by Suter, but I think a better catch by Earl Winfield as he works his way in to try and find an opening in the zone. They get it over the top of Ray Bernard, the middle linebacker, and then the hit, I think that looked worse than it really was, but great catch and some optimism rather for John Gregory.
15 seconds to go, third quarter. Ticats first and 10. The ball on the Roughrider 11. This is Perkins. He's run well and has the touchdown. Bruce Perkins gets the Ticats into the end zone for the first time with 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Yes, folks, something to cheer about in Steeltown. We've been waiting a long time for that Tiger Cat touchdown, Lee.
Yeah, we really have, and Bruce Perkins does a nice job, and watch the kick-out block there by Paul Bushy, and you'll see it to the left of your screen. He gets the good kick out, and Bruce Perkins follows the blocking perfectly. There he's in. Now he's following Mike Jovanovic, the right guard, and that's a super run. They capitalize on the turnover, and all of a sudden, for a team that's had everything their own way, Saskatchewan finds himself in a ball game.
Asbaldson has the convert on the final play of the third quarter. So the Tiger Cats have 10 up on the board. They're 2 touchdowns down to the Roughriders. Fourth quarter coming right up on the CFL Live.
Hamilton statistics will be forgotten if they can make a run of it here in the fourth quarter. And the defense, which has shut down the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the second half, has a great opportunity to get it back quickly for their offense.
John Moulton set up the first Ticat touchdown with an interception. Here's Mike Saunders looking for room to the wide side. Greg Eaglin, 13 for the Ticats on the tackle. And Saunders has 7, maybe 8 yards.
Interesting in the Saskatchewan running scheme of things, they don't have the big lead fullback, so they have to do different little things to try and accomplish their blocking patterns. That time with the 2 inside receivers in the backfield, Jeff Fairholm actually becomes the lead blocker, if you can believe it, on the sweep.
I remember when you used to lead the blocks for the Roughriders.
Yeah, I led him all right into the dressing room.
Here's Gordon.
Mike Saunders down on the field receiving some medical attention. On the Hamilton side, they're a little surprised that Saskatchewan went away from the offensive strategies that worked so well in the first half, namely throwing the ball on first down. Since the Riders started running the ball on first down, they haven't been nearly as effective.
Ticats have all the points so far in the second half. It's only a touchdown, but Matthews' Roughriders have been shut down in the second half so far. 3 plays, 31 yards after the turnover, and a quick time of possession.
I think Gord makes an interesting point, because Saskatchewan, when running the football, hey, maybe they're sitting back saying, look, we got a 21-point lead here in the third quarter. Let's not do anything crazy here. And all of a sudden, by changing their scheme, they've allowed Hamilton to regain or to get some initial momentum for the evening and get back into this one.
Mike Saunders injured on the previous play, still being attended to on the sidelines. Maybe we can find out what happened to him.
Well, it's the initial hit by Greg Eaglin. He just kind of got squashed.
Second and 3 after a 7-yard gain by Saunders. Pressure on Austin. Boyko makes the catch, and that relieves a lot of the pressure on the Roughriders. Terry Wright made the tackle, and that'll be a Saskatchewan first down. The gain is 18.
Yeah, what a terrific job. Look how they pick up John Moulton on the blitz. Todd Wiseman's coming up the middle, but they protect long enough for Austin to complete that pass to Fairholm. Well, that is a mismatch. Mike O'Shea trying to stay with Jeff Fairholm.
First and 10, Saskatchewan at the Ticat 45. Austin operating from the shotgun. Looks to the far side. Contact over there. Eaglin was covering on Don Narcisse.
And usually when Don Narcisse runs the hook pattern, he comes back to his quarterback extremely hard. That time he just sat after he stopped his pattern on the hook, and he allowed Eaglin to close the distance and make the play.
Second and 10. Williams to the near side. Narcisse far side on the wide out. Austin has Elgard once more. Terry Wright has been a busy Ticat tackler.
Oh, it's a tough assignment. Ray Elgard is really in a groove tonight, and he recognizes that he's got linebacker coverage, and when you take that inside position, you're vulnerable to the out, and Elgard has been able to do that, it seems like, all evening long. The Ticats have taken the inside away, and he's simply gone to the outs for 9 receptions and 142 yards. Second and 10, Saskatchewan, Hamilton 35. Oh, what a terrific catch by Ray Elgard. He read the zone coverage nicely. Hamilton content to sit back, but only 8 yards, so the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense does their job. They're able to keep Elgard short of picking up the first down. Good recognition to find the soft spot, but he's not able to get 10 yards downfield. So Dave Ridgway will enter the game, and once again, for the most part, you have to be impressed with the job that Hamilton has done defensively here in the second half.
Ridgway has a perfect night going so far. 3 for 3. He's on a pretty good streak with 4 for 4 last week against Toronto. 7 in a row for Dave Ridgway, who gets the first points for the Roughriders in the second half. Saskatchewan leading the Tiger Cats 27-10 on Ridgway's field goal. 11:39 to go. Ticat football when we return.
Hey, but they figure he'll be all right and should be able to return. You see him checking his arms above his head. They want to make sure he'll be able to catch passes because that's a key part of his role with this offense.
We're in Steeltown, the Tiger Cats and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Some Ticat fans having very little to cheer about in the opening half. Turn around and say hi to us, pal. Ticats first down at the 35 after the Ridgway field goal. Lots of time remaining if McPherson can score early here. I think he's going to need a little help from the defense to pull anything out here this evening.
Well, the last time they had the football, they did a nice job moving it downfield, but it's the Calgary Stampeder offense. I'd say, hey, there's a heck of a lot of time, only 17 points down. Hamilton, a little different story.
Yeah. When I was thinking of the defense there, I was suggesting maybe a turnover after getting a touchdown. Perkins gets the call. He's across the 40. That's Bruce Perkins in his first game for the Tiger Cats. They call it a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5, Tiger Cats. The ball on the 40-yard line. McPherson with time. Looking for Perkins, and he was off the mark. Been a tough night for John Gregory. He was a little angry at the way his team got off to such a slow start here. Austin got off to a very hot start, conversely, and McPherson is still trying to get over 100 yards by a little more than 3. 7 of 24.
Yeah, 7 of 24. He comes in at 42%, so that percentage will go down with his production tonight.
Osbaldiston. Ulmer. Room to the far. Oh, what a great tackle by Yock. Joey Yock got a hand on Ulmer and dropped him, or Ulmer was going to have a decent return.
Joey Yock really gambled coming from the inside, and he gets the left arm out and just tangles up the feet enough of Ulmer, and that is a nice play on the special teams for Joey Yock. Has not had a great night in pass receptions, but making his presence felt covering those punts.
Joey Yock playing with his brother Jim on the same team, and the other team is coached by his father, Ray Yock, the offensive coordinator for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 1st and 10, Riders at the 42. Austin. Elgard. Collision with Eaglin, but Elgard hangs on.
You know, normally Elgard would be so vulnerable as he goes to catch this football and really exposed for a vicious hit, but he is just so big and tough. Watch this. Greg Eaglin's got him all lined up, and Elgard will make the catch. There comes the hit, but it's kind of just like a little mosquito bouncing off the hip there.
Get away from me.
Yeah, Elgard makes the catch and just gets up like nothing really happened.
Eaglin is 6'2" and 190. He's not really small playing that spot. Another first down for the Riders. Narcisse couldn't hang on.
Pass is incomplete, knocked out by Greg Eaglin.
Going right back at Eaglin one more time. Narcisse straightens him up the field and then breaks to the end, but Eaglin with great reaction after Narcisse made his final break. Greg Eaglin was right there.
9:50 to go in the fourth quarter. It is Saskatchewan leading 27-10. 2nd and 10 to go for Ken Austin and the Roughriders. Early movements, more markers. I think Roy Hart might have got a head start. Hart played one game in '92. He had 6 tackles and 2 sacks in less than a half of football. So the Tiger Cats, when he got better, wanted to get him into the lineup.
Roy Hart obviously moved early, as John said, but the Saskatchewan Roughriders did as well, and they drew him offside with the illegal procedure call. Win!
Too many. Riders are closing in on the Tiger Cats in penalty yardage. Austin 2nd down and 15. What a great catch. Don Narcisse beating Greg Eaglin.
Pass is complete to Donald Narcisse. Eaglin made the tackle.
Well, he'd run the in and the hooks, and now they finally air one out, and Don Narcisse, with his tremendous speed, is able to get behind Eaglin. He can't recover in time, and well, you talk about a pass perfectly thrown. You know, he's slowly creeping up to try and steal some of the thunder from the inside receivers, Ray Elgard and Jeff Verholm.
44 yards on that reception by Don Narcisse. The Riders set up in scoring range once more at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, it always seems like the wide receivers for Saskatchewan are plan B, aren't they?
Have been tonight again. Verholm was the intended receiver. Austin missed his man that time. Cats will have a date with the Calgary Stampeders here in a couple of weeks. They're off to Sacramento next Saturday. Rough Riders will host Ottawa next Wednesday at Taylor Field. Austin, 2nd and 10. And he overthrew Byron Williams. So here comes Mr. Automatic. Dave Ridgway.
Yeah, and once again, the Ticat defense tightens at the right time, and if Ridgway connects, that's only the 6th point that Saskatchewan will have scored in the second half, and I think you have to give some credit to Hamilton. They have done a much better job in the second half defensively.
Ridgway has been good on 94% of his field goal tries so far this season. One more, a perfect evening going for Dave Ridgway, who improves the Saskatchewan advantage to 20 points. It's a long way back for the Tiger Cats with 8:38 to go. This is the CFL Live from Hamilton. Now here's the strategy. If you want to catch the football, sit right next to the quarterback in the dugout there. Elgard and Narcisse couldn't get any closer to Austin if they tried. Elgard, 11 receptions, 166. Verholm has 6. Narcisse is 4 for 68. Did you used to hang around Ronnie Lancaster on the bench?
Close as I could.
Yeah.
Byron Williams mustn't be sitting too close to Ken Austin.
He was way, way down.
There, we can't see him. There he is, just on the left of Don Narcisse there, but he's got to nudge Narcisse out of the way and get a little closer to Ken and say, hey, bud, I haven't caught one yet tonight.
1st and 10 for the Tiger Cats. The pitch goes to Perkins. Loose ball. And I think this is going Saskatchewan's way. Well, the Riders were indicating that, and they were there on the scene first. Hang on, it remains Tiger Cat football.
The cutback coming by Bruce Perkins, and then all of a sudden, the big hit by number 99, Maurice Crum. The ball comes loose. The Ticats able to recover. Ooh.
Lee Knight got the call that time. Bayless was waiting. So was Stuart Hill. Maurice Crum was in the vicinity as well. Remember when Don Matthews promised us that Maurice Crum was going to be an impact player in this league? He is leading the league in tackles as a rookie in his First CFL season, number 1 in the CFL with 31 tackles, plus 5 on special teams. Number 99, Maurice Crum.
Well, he has an opportunity to be a very good linebacker, and of course it's going to take some time for him to adjust to this game. He's a great tackler, needs to work on getting that pass coverage down, but he could be a good one.
3rd and 1. Perkins has the first down easily for the Tiger Cats. Carlton Lance, number 9, the stop for Saskatchewan.
Perkins shaken up on the play.
Gregory has had great success against his former team, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, since coming over to the Tiger Cats. Tonight has not been one of his memorable evenings, at least so far. With 7:21 to go, he's got to pick up 20 points in a hurry. That tells a big part of the story for the Ticat offense. Walker with 1 catch for 11 yards. Earl Winfield, 2 for 43. He had one that got the Tiger Cats right down to the goal line late in the first half. And then a penalty forced the Tiger Cats back 15 yards, and they couldn't get in from there with time running out. You got to like Winfield, though, as a ball player, Leaf.
Yeah, I sure do.
He is currently leading the Canadian Football League in all-purpose yardage, just ahead of the Saskatchewan running back, Mike Saunders. All-purpose yards coming into this game.
Well, Earl
Rather
Winfield,
impressive, 796 for Winfield. Sorry.
yeah, no, he's always been one of my favorites. He's got a big heart, and more often than not, he plays hurt most of the time and gives you 110%. And although his team is struggling tonight, no question that his head is still in this game completely.
Bruce Perkins shaken up on his last carry, a timeout, and Ivor win. Ticats a long way to battle back on the CFL Live tonight. Left of our screen there.
Yeah, he's still hanging in there, getting the Ticats ready week after week to play.
Good-looking suspenders as always. First and 10 for the Tiger Cats. 7:18 to go, 4th quarter. They trail by 20. Lee Knight makes the catch. Pinned by Maurice Crum, number 99.
Oh, those are the little things that Hamilton's just not doing well right now. You know, Knight has to go down to the ground to make that catch. He's able to stand up. A better pass by McPherson. He maybe picks up 2 or 3 more.
2nd and 6. Lee Knight one more time. Stopped by Ray Bernard, number 95.
Lee Knight takes the pass.
Peter Giftopoulos blocking on Bobby Jurison, and he's learned quickly how to get that hand up in the face mask and hold a little bit, but not enough to stop Jurison from getting in and putting a pretty good hit on Don McPherson.
They'll measure the Tiger Cat progress here with 6:37 to play, 4th quarter.
Don Matthews just yelled to his linebackers, 5-yard plays are nothing. They can take all those they want because it'll chew up too much time on the clock.
Sounds like pretty good strategy to me.
I'd say so. Just a 1-yard play necessary for the Tiger Cats to get the first down. It'll be 3rd down. Less than a yard to go, Hamilton.
I think Saskatchewan might look at this game and say, geez, we really tailed off in the second half of this game, but they had such a great start and got such a big lead early. But, you know, they just kind of had to play out the string, and although they may not feel great about the way they played in the second half, it certainly has been good enough to hold a 20-point lead and play a pretty sound football game tonight.
3rd and inches for Don McPherson and the Tiger Cats. No markers. It'll be a first down, Hamilton. Roughriders have been having a difficult time winning on the road so far. They just had 2 road wins in all of 1992 and are 0 for 1993. So if they can hang on here and they have a 20-point advantage, it'll be, as Don Matthews liked to term it, a team ready to turn the corner and win on the road for the first time. Winfield to the near side. Ticats 1st and 10. McPherson goes to the other side for Scott Walker. And not a particularly well-thrown football. Brown was covering. On the post-game show tonight, Jeff Fairholm on Up Close, John Michalak, president of the Tiger Cats. I believe that Dandy Dan will
analyze this game.
Pass is incomplete.
3rd and 10 now.
It'll be interesting.
Person missed.
Sorry, John. It'll be interesting to hear John Mitchell's comments in our post-game show. I'm sure Gord Miller is going to inquire as to the possibilities of the sale of this franchise to Sal Biondo, a Washington real estate man, and he has made overtures at wanting to purchase this club. And I'm sure Mitchell will fill us in on the latest details on that.
5:43 to go till the end of this evening of football in Hamilton. Eero Sanchez is the backup quarterback to Don McPherson, wearing number 14. Not much choice left for the Tiger Cats. On 3rd down, they'll gamble with 10 to go.
One of the difficult things for the Ticats is the fact that they have decided to go with 2 young quarterbacks. Eero Sanchez, the backup, really has no professional experience and no playing time. And well, it's not like if, you've got the situation in Edmonton with a Damon Allen and Tom Mickey and Ricky Foggy, you kind of flip the coin if the first guy isn't doing the job here. Not really plan B. There's Eero Sanchez on the sidelines.
3rd and 10, 5:35 to go, and the Ticats go gambling here. They've run out of options. McPherson shoveled it off for Perkins. He couldn't hang on. It's been that kind of an evening for the Tiger Cats.
It really has, because that was a well-designed and well-executed play. Had Perkins been able to hang on to it, the pressure comes. It looks as though Saskatchewan's going to get the sack. That's what you want to do. Invite guys like Bobby Jurison to come up the field very hard, then push them quickly out of the way and set up the screen. And there you see, it was 1 block away from picking up a first down, but as things have happened for Hamilton tonight, they are just not able to click.
And I think the block might have been there.
Yep.
It'll count as a turnover against the Tiger Cats. Austin is back on the field. Saunders to Byron K. Williams. Lefty. Mike Saunders gets his first CFL completion, I'm sure. I didn't see that anywhere else in the stats.
That was a great throw by Saunders, left-handed, and he put some zip on this ball. Reads the coverage well, and hey, Byron Williams does get his first catch of the night.
You see, when your right-hander gets tired after completing all of those passes tonight, you bring in the left-hander, just a little relief.
Okay.
Saskatchewan may have pulled off a trick play, but Hamilton didn't find it that funny. Some glares from the Hamilton side of the Saskatchewan coaches for maybe rubbing it in a bit. Sanders looked to take it again that time. Looked like he might be thinking of going 2 for 2.
He's forced into touch by David Bailey.
4:39 remaining at Ivor Wynn. 100%er. Mike Saunders. A 20-yard completion. Roughriders scored on their opening possession, and they haven't looked back.
It's a nice clean win for them tonight. They haven't made many mistakes. They've let Hamilton's offense more or less self-destruct. Done just enough of their own.
Austin for Elgard. He could score, and he will score. Second touchdown of the night for Ray Elgard. A 42-yarder that time. And Elgard has had quite an evening.
I think his speed is deceptive, too, and the time that Austin has to finally pick him out is amazing, and he just stands tall in the pocket. Ray Elgard with a good catch, outruns Terry Wright into the end zone, and got the interesting spike through the legs.
That'd be tough to do and dangerous at times. Dave Ridgway hasn't missed one of these in about 5 years. A perfect field goal night for Ridgway. And on the scoreboard, 37 points for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 10 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ridgway perfect on converts, perfect night for field goals, and he's got a great streak going. 208 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and the touchdowns have been very impressive.
And you know what this does? This really gives the CFL decision makers some hard decisions to make. Who's going to be the offensive player of the week? Doug Flutie, he's had a super week. Ray Elgart tonight, 12 catches, 208 yards. And how about Mike Kerrigan's performance last night? Wow, who will be MVP offensive player of the week?
Maybe a little tough. Elgard closing in on all kinds of CFL receiving milestones. Sitting alongside his mate, Jeff Fairholm, who was shaken up earlier in the game. Had a pretty good game going, and Elgard hasn't been, or Fairholm hasn't been used quite as much in the second half, possibly because he was shaken up. Walker on the return.
Going back to that graphic of the all-time pass reception leaders, there's no question that I think Ray Elgard will end up his career as the #1 all-time reception leader in the CFL. 50-odd catches behind Rocky DiPietro. See, now Fairholm snuggled in there and saying, hey, now, look, how about me?
Yeah, maybe I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I feel better. Back's not bothering me. I'm all right.
3:36 to go in the fourth quarter. Ticats having all kinds of problems. Bushy late getting to the line of scrimmage. Lee Knight, and a big hole opens up for Lee Knight. He's down to the 40. Albert Brown puts the stop on Lee Knight. Tiger Cats are down by 27.
Well, there's no way that Hamilton's going to win this football game now, but what they really need to do is just to understand what this last 3 minutes can mean to them. I mean, they are struggling on offense. They're having difficulty executing, so they should really think about this last 3 minutes as a really good live scrimmage to try and get some of their timing down, work on their plays for Don McPherson to maybe throw some passes and look at the coverages and, take this 3 minutes and use it constructively.
Don McPherson came into the ball game as a 42% passer. He struggled last week, completing only 7 of 18 for 114 yards. The injured Saskatchewan Roughrider is the right halfback, Charles Anthony, number 8. Roughriders are home to Ottawa next week at Taylor Field. Ticats take their show on the road to Sacramento. We'll move on to BC for our next telecast. Catch the Argos at BC Place on Thursday night. 1st and 10 to go, Tiger Cats at the Rough Rider 40. McPherson for Yock inside the 30.
McPherson.
Elgard with 12 receptions for 208 yards is still a ways behind Chris DeFrance, who in a single game got passes for 260. Don Matthews comfortably in control with a 3-minute timeout at Ivor Wynn. In Houston and Buck Martinez getting ready at the Skydome.
Tickets are now available at the Boston box office for the Tiger Cats' next home game. It's August the 20th versus the Calgary Stampeders.
Saskatchewan leading the Tiger Cats by 27, and there's really been very little doubt about the outcome of this one. Tiger Cat versus Saskatchewan network. Nice try.
Well, it wasn't even really a nice try tonight, only 10 points, and I think John Gregory has to be concerned with the offensive output of his club, and it's okay to rely on defense to win some games for you, but at some point in time, the offense has to kick in, and tonight really hasn't been close to enough or effective enough to win a football game.
Yeah, just 93 points or 97 points scored by the Tiger Cats now through 5 games. McPherson off target for Winfield. Coming in, the Tiger Cats had scored 87 in 4 games, and that's just not enough to beat a team like the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but it's not enough to win in Canadian football, is it?
No, it's not. Absolutely not. Don McPherson, well, you just see him. It's a lack of confidence right now. That was a ball that was a pretty easy throw into Earl Winfield, and boy, it hit about 5 yards in front of him. For those guys, it's been pitch and catch all night. Kind of like just a good, solid practice session for them.
2nd and 10 for McPherson and the Tiger Cats. Tipped away at the last possible second by Ulmer, Tyrell Ulmer, who has moved into the Saskatchewan secondary. He's listed as the designated import for the game.
Terry Ulmer, good kick return man for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Tonight he gets a little chance to play late in the game for Charles Anthony.
96-yard.
You too, Mayor. Love you.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Return for a touchdown on a missed field goal against the Argos last week. McPherson caught in the throwing motion. Bobby Jurison got through. .226 to go. A long night for the Tiger Cats. So Gregory, who was replaced by Don Matthews, is about to lose for the first time against his former team. Any doubt about it that Mr. Austin has had a pretty good night. He'll rest the rest of the way, with Warren Jones coming in to get a little bit of spot duty for the final couple of minutes. Bruce Boyko carrying the ball. Jones has completed 5 of 8 for 73 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions so far in 93. Decent passing percentage with those numbers, though, 62.5.
Well, you can see in the number of attempts, he does not get a lot of playing time, and obviously only by an injury to Austin throughout this season will he get any more playing time.
Boyko gets the call one more time. Mike O'Shea, 59, making the stop. So Austin's numbers will look like this. The stat sheet tomorrow: 27 of 53, 449 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and an interception that really set up the only Tiger Cat touchdown. That was John Moten's interception. Ticats went in to score after that.
Yeah, interceptions had been a problem for him so far in their first 5 games. He's throwing 8 of them, only 1 tonight. A couple of touchdowns to go along with that. So I would say a very, very productive evening and a very satisfying evening for Kent Austin.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
Scott Walker, and the returns have not been solid for the Tiger Cats. Another case in point right there. Nowhere to go for Scott Walker. He was surrounded.
Brooks Findlay made the tackle.
Time has run out of the Tiger Cats, down by 27 points with 1:34 to go. Decent defense, a struggling offense. And actually in the first half, the defense struggled a little bit for Hamilton as well.
Yeah, they got off to a slow start for about a quarter and a half, and they finally came alive.
McPherson stays in there. Paul Bushy. Good run by Bushy. Up near the 42. Maurice Crump finally tracked him down. 29-yard run for Bushy.
Well, they've had some success with this screen when they've been able to hang on to it tonight. Bushy in the slot just kind of cuts back in, makes the catch, and got a few blocks out in front, but a nice play to pick up a first down and some yardage.
Bushy got the call again. Stopped by Barry Wilburn. Wilburn's had a pretty good night on the corner, playing his 4th game tonight. Excellent prospect. Oh, big guy, 6'3", 200.
Yeah, he's had a great night on the corner. Looked very solid back there.
Well, Bushy gets his money's worth here in the final couple of moments. 3 plays in a row.
See the size factor for Barry Wilburn, 6'3", 200 pounds, and as he came up from the short zone coverage to put the hit on Paul Bushy, he's big enough to just really square up that receiver and make a good solid hit so Bushy doesn't go any farther.
Into the final minutes right now. 3rd and 1 to go for the Tiger Cats, and Lee Knight will certainly have a first down. Carlton Lance.
We win, buddy. Now go to bed. Do what your mommy tells you. That's Mike Anderson, the center.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Mom. Hey, friend. Dad's getting a lot of recognition this year, isn't he? Used to be just Mom. Now
those
Dad.
2 guys, they're Anderson and Hendrickson down there. Their dads used to play this game of Canadian football a few years ago.
Yeah, lefty.
Sack was made by
45 seconds to go. Drinkwalder into the game. He's been listed as a backup on both sides of the football. McPherson, a deep drop. Winfield, the catch. He's out of bounds.
Pass is incomplete.
What might have been for the Tiger Cats in this evening had Winfield been allowed to remain at the 1-yard line late in the first half. And I think the penalty was actually on Winfield after making the catch. He got the Tiger Cats down to the 1, but all of a sudden 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct forced the Tiger Cats back to the 15. And they couldn't score. So they were down by a bunch at halftime, 24-3.
McPherson, the ball carrier. Peter Miller made the tackle.
A few Rough Rider backups into the game now as Miller got involved, number 91. Stampeders remain perfect. 47-22 over Ottawa. Riders had the lead briefly in that one. I think the first touchdown belonged to Ottawa.
Wally Buono made an interesting challenge to his team. He didn't say, you know, heck, we want to repeat as Grey Cup champions. Obviously, they would like to do that. But he just issued a challenge to every player saying, if you can play up to your potential each game, and that's all you have to do, things will take care of themselves. And I thought it was a pretty interesting perspective to take on their new season this year, trying to defend the Grey Cup.
Don Matthews looking at this game tonight as a turnaround game. We talked about that earlier, but the Rough Riders trying to win on the road for the first time, and they have done that successfully tonight. It's been a tough struggle for the Riders in the last little while. Post-game show coming up right after the final play here. Turning point might have been early in this ball game.
How early?
First quarter, I'd bet.
Yeah, I think, you know, the Ray Elgart touchdown got them off to such a great start, and maybe the Earl Winfield play that got down to the 1 and they didn't get any points out of it. I don't know. So for Don Matthews, they are over the hump. First road win. They go to 500 on the season.
3-3 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders as a result of this victory at Ivor Wynne Stadium tonight. So Don Matthews has the Riders right back on track. They lost 2 in a row, including one loss to Sacramento and another to the Edmonton Eskimos a couple of days before that. But now the Rough Riders are back to even at 3-3. And it's going to be an interesting race for playoff positioning in the CFL West as a result. A ways to go to the playoffs, but the Riders really needed this win tonight. Let's go down to Gord Miller.
Thanks very much, John. Here with Don Matthews. Don, talking to you before this football game about winning on the road. What did you do tonight that you were unable to do before?
Well, I think that we've got a better football team. I think we're starting to play like our talent dictates. We've got a good football team, but to prove it, we have to win on the road. We win at home quite often, but we haven't been able to do it on the road. Our team's a little bit better, so hopefully this is the start of something good.
What's different about this team that makes it so much better?
Well, it's the same thing that wins for everybody. It's players. You know, we've got some really good players. I think Barry Wilburn has stepped up and done some great things. Ken Austin to Ray Elgard and all those guys that play good week in and week out. We've added to some of the old veterans, and I just think we've got a pretty good mix right now.
Could you talk a little bit about your slapbacks? I mean, so much has been said about Ray Elgard and Jeff Fairholm, but individually they're so good, but they really seem to complement each other well.
Well, I think they're just opposites, and we flip them from side to side. We get a power guy running up there, being rough and tough, and then next time you're going to get a speed guy with great routes. So it makes those halfbacks, it gives them two entirely different looks, so they're tough to cover.
You've been through that rough part of the schedule that everyone's going to have to go through this year. Do you feel like after the win over Toronto and this win that you've kind of turned a corner?
Well, we hope so. You know, the proof is in the fact if we keep winning or not. We've got to stay healthy. We've got to keep our players improving every week, and if we do that, we've got a talented football team.
The Calgary Stampeders winning tonight and seemingly running away with the division. How do you size up the West?
Well, you know, Calgary certainly got a big lead on us, and we dug our own hole, so we just have to play the best we can every week out and not worry about what Calgary does. We have to just worry what we do.
Don, congratulations on a great win tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Saskatchewan Roughrider head coach Don Matthews. We'll be back with our CFL Live postgame show in just a minute here on TSN.
Tonight's TSN Turning Point brought to you by Armor All. This one came early. The opening sequence for the Saskatchewan offense, a 70-yard march, topped off by a pass to Ray Elgard from Ken Austin. 23-yard touchdown gave the Roughriders an early 7-0 lead. They never looked back. A cash donation to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of coaches in amateur sport will be made on behalf of TSN and Armor All. Armor All beautifies and protects your tires. Just spray and walk away. On the sidelines once more, Gord Miller.
With Ken Austin, and Kent, you jumped on him early, and I don't know if I've seen the Saskatchewan offense click like that in a while.
Well, we started off real slow this year. You know, we didn't play real well early on, but with a week's worth of preparation, you know, we're starting to play a little bit better.
I guess you're really disappointed with the way that Elgard and Fairholm played tonight.
Yeah, no, we just can't get any production out of these guys. Jeez, yeah, they were really good. You know, Jeff got dinged there in the middle of the game, but those guys are really good players.
Here's the numbers: 113 yards for Fairholm. As you mentioned, he got dinged. Ray Elgard only had 208, so that's 321 yards to the slots. Can you talk a little bit about how much they complement each other because they're so different?
It's just when you can switch sides with them, and you get a big guy on one halfback. The next time we come out in a lineup, now he's got a speed guy on him, and it just really, I think, keeps the halfbacks very, very off balance for teams that we play. And Hamilton played a lot of man-to-man cover tonight, and you know, when we're on, that's tough to cover those guys.
You guys were on tonight. We want to show you the touchdown pass to Ray Elgard that capped off your evening. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, we just ran a corner route with Ray, and he just, wait a minute, that's not the play, is it? Oh, that's the last play. Yeah, we've been running a out route with Ray and clearing out the outside cover. They were overplaying it, so we smashed him back to the inside, and he just ran a great route again, like he did all night.
Mike Saunders seemed to set the tone for this team as well, and last week carried over from the Toronto game where he had over 100 yards rushing. How important do you think the running game is to the success of this team?
Well, it's real important. You know, if we can't get any productivity at all in the running game, it makes our passing game that much harder, and our teams fall off on us and try to take away Ray and Jeff, and makes life a lot more difficult for us. And Saunders is playing real well. He's a big key in our offense.
Your first win on the road this year. Can you figure out why it's so hard for road teams to win in this league?
No, I don't know. I wish I did have the answer, because we really haven't been that good on the road, and we weren't very good last year on the road. And you know, so this is a big win. I don't know if it's the traveling or it's probably something more psychological than anything.
Kent, must be a great feeling to play like this tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's a good feeling.
Kent, thanks very much, and good luck next week.
All right, appreciate it.
Ken Austin, the Saskatchewan quarterback, who was throwing darts tonight. And for more of this game tonight, let's go to John and Lee.
Well, we kind of missed this one at the outset. We said it might be a classic confrontation of offense and defense, and I guess Kent Austin answered the call, but the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense a little slow in responding opening quarter particularly.
Yeah, it really was, John. They got off to a rough start, and it was a classic confrontation. We didn't think Saskatchewan's offense and Hamilton defense was going to be on the field as much tonight as they were, but you know, the Hamilton defense, give them credit. I mean, they came back in the second half and played a pretty good second half, and it's just their offense. I mean, they have no offense at this point in time, and, you know, it's so tough to win football games when you can't get over the hump with the scoring department.
Yeah, Don McPherson had another tough night. As the numbers will indicate, McPherson struggled a little bit. Net yards, 533 for Saskatchewan, 290 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. A lot of that later in the game when really the Saskatchewan defense backed off a bit.
Yeah, I think the time of possession to me is the real key factor there. You see such a discrepancy, 13 more minutes for Saskatchewan throughout that game, and really and truly it does take a toll on a defense. Hamilton defense did a lot of running, a lot of pass rushing out there tonight. The defensive backs were under a tremendous amount of pressure all evening long. They broke down in certain situations, as Kent Austin said, man-to-man, they can't cover my guys, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, and the Saskatchewan defense had a pretty good rest for the first half in particular. They were very fresh near the end of the game. Final is in from Iverwin and Hamilton, and the Roughriders win in a walk.